From where you sit, a Democratic White House, what are people talking about?
Well, I just actually, just as we came on air, a new Emerson poll declared Donald Trump the victor in the Democratic debate. Because his head-to-heads on the major rivals narrowed by 5 percentage points in their latest poll. Look, it's more than a year away from the election, and I think that speculation on whether the Democrats will take the White House is obviously pretty premature. I mean, a lot could happen between now and then.
What are you hearing from clients?
Well, we've been talking about the election all year, and what I've generally been hearing is people think that Trump is going to win, but they're readjusting their portfolios just in case he doesn't, which tells me that, you know, it's yes, the consensus technically is a Trump re-election, but I don't think it's a very high conviction view.
Well, and to that point, what I also noticed in your survey, which I found interesting, is that even if President Trump wins, only like 50% expect a big Trump bump versus, say, before. Walk me through what you found.
Well, so I was actually surprised by that. So we went through the survey and we asked a whole bunch of questions, and we tried to ask both what people thought the probability of certain outcomes was and how it would impact the market. And we found with Trump that 69% think he's going to win, but only 50% said that it would be a positive for stocks if he did. Now, we asked a separate question, which is what happens if a Republican other than Trump wins? And we don't think that's going to happen, obviously, but we wanted to put it in there for control purposes. And what we found was that more than 2/3 said it would be good for the stock market if a Republican other than Trump won, which is telling you something about how Trump, his tweeting, the trade issues, the political uncertainty, how that is weighing on the investment community.
Yeah, it's also very interesting to me how what's happening in the economy is going to be critically important going into the election. And there are so many factors that go into that have nothing to do with the presidency. It has to do with commodity prices. It has to do with climate change. It has to do with a whole range of issues that really don't matter in terms of where the economy's, what Donald Trump is going to do for the economy or the Republicans.
But to Lori's point also, that what is in the policy handbook that will give us the Trump bump that we had when he was first elected?
Well, you sort of think that he has already used the ammunition he has with the tax cuts and deregulation, which have definitely had a positive impact on the markets. And one thing the survey doesn't talk about, which is also critically important, what happens to the House and what happens to the Senate. Because if there is a divided Congress, there's very little that's going to get done.